For decades, we've been told this incredible story that 95% of our entire universe is made of, well, stuff we can't see, mysterious, invisible things we call dark matter and dark energy. But what if that whole story is wrong? What if these cosmic mysteries aren't things we need to find out there, but are actually just illusions? Illusions created because we got one of the universe's most basic rules completely backwards.
If the speed of light isn't constant, then our main tool for measuring the entire universe, this thing called redshift, is suddenly not as simple as we thought. And that has absolutely profound implications for this thing we call dark energy.
See, right now, we believe that redshift, which is just the light from distant galaxies getting stretched out, is caused by one single thing: the universe expanding and doing it faster and faster. But this new model says, hang on, not so fast. It suggests there could be at least three other things going on. First, the speed of light itself could be changing as it travels. Second, the very atoms that are emitting that light might be changing size. And third, maybe huge chunks of space are expanding or contracting in ways we just haven't even thought about.
And this leads to an absolute bombshell of a conclusion, because if all these other factors are contributing to the redshift we're measuring, then the entire reason we had to invent this mysterious dark energy in the first place, well, it might just be a giant misinterpretation of the data. Poof! It might not even need to exist.
Okay, so if dark energy is potentially an illusion, what about the other 800-pound gorilla in the room, dark matter? Well, the theory has an even more mind-bending explanation for that one. It basically tells us, stop looking for some mysterious invisible particle. Instead, look at the very shape of space itself. Seriously, just for a moment, forget about tiny invisible particles. I want you to picture something else entirely. Picture waves, but not waves of light or waves in an ocean. We're talking about waves in the fabric of space itself. These enormous, slow-moving swells just rippling across the entire cosmos. And the scale here, it's almost impossible to imagine. We are talking about waves with wavelengths that stretch for hundreds of thousands of light years. They are so vast that a single crest or a single trough could span an entire cluster of galaxies. Just think about that. So here's the crucial part. How do these waves actually do anything? Well, just like a huge planet creates a dip in spacetime, a gravity well, the troughs of these spacetime waves, the low points where space is most stretched out, they do the same thing. They create a kind of gravitational basin. And just like a real basin, they naturally pull matter and energy in. And there you have it. That's the big idea. In this model, dark matter isn't a thing at all, it's a place. The extra gravity we've been detecting for decades, that's just the effect of these giant troughs in the cosmic waves. So the galaxies we see aren't sitting inside some big invisible cloud of particles. No, they're more like cosmic surfers, all gathered together riding the contours of these immense space-time swells. Now, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds wonderfully poetic, right? Galaxies surfing on space-time waves. But does it actually fit with the math? Well, the theory proposes that yes, it absolutely can, by making one small but incredibly profound adjustment to the most famous equation in all of cosmology. Okay, so on the left, you've got Einstein's classic field equation. It's worked beautifully for over 100 years. On the right is the new, modified version. Now, don't worry about all the Greek letters and symbols. Just focus on that new bit that's been added on, that d mu nu term. That one tiny addition is designed to account for all the energy that's stored in the very shape and curvature of these space-time waves, the very energy that we've been mistakenly calling dark matter. So let's pause for a second and really absorb what this means. If this whole framework is correct, the two biggest mysteries in physics, the two concepts that supposedly make up 95% of our universe, they just disappear. They vanish. They aren't new types of matter or energy. They're just artifacts, ghosts, created by our previous incomplete understanding of how space works. And the implications just keep on rolling, because when you question something as fundamental as the speed of light, you send ripples through all of cosmology. It starts to change our picture of literally everything, from the nature of black holes to the very beginning of time itself. For example, in this new picture, black holes aren't these neat little points of infinite density anymore. They're more like wildly chaotic, resonating cavities just filled with noise. And the Big Bang, that single point of origin for everything,
It might get replaced by a fluttering universe, one that endlessly expands and contracts in a kind of cosmic rhythm, never really beginning or ending at a single point.
And all of this leaves us with one last, really fascinating thought. For almost a century, we've been searching for new particles, new forces, new stuff to explain the universe. But what if the answer isn't about finding something new out there? What if the answer has been right here, all along, hidden in the one assumption we never thought to question?